Welcome to A Radical Guide's Resistance in Focus, where we highlight pivotal moments in the history of resistance against oppression in brief segments. I'm Jason Bayless, and today we're exploring the Palmer Raids of 1919 to 1920. The Palmer Raids were a series of raids conducted by the United States Department of Justice under the administration of President Woodrow Wilson, aimed at capturing, arresting, and deporting radical leftists, especially anarchists, from the United States. This took place in the aftermath of World War I and during the Red Scare, when the fear of communism and radical political movements was at its height. These actions were part of a broader legal framework that included the Anarchist Exclusion Act of 1903, which allowed the government to deport non-citizens who were anarchists or advocated for the overthrow of the government. On November 7, 1919, and January 2, 1920, federal agents led by Attorney General A. Mitchell Palmer raided meeting halls and homes in over 30 cities. Thousands of people were arrested, often without warrants, and many were held for long periods without being charged or allowed legal counsel. The raids targeted members of the Industrial Workers of the World, IWW, and other radical organizations, as well as immigrants who were often subjected to deportation under the auspices of laws like the Anarchist Exclusion Act. The Palmer Raids had immediate and long-term impacts on the American legal system and civil liberties. They led to the establishing of the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, in 1920, highlighting the need for legal protection against government overreach. The raids also fueled a broader anti-immigrant sentiment and set the stage for future crackdowns on dissent during periods of national stress. Lesser known is the widespread public backlash against the raids, which helped to curb the most extreme measures of the Red Scare. One lesser-known aspect of the Palmer Raids is the role of J. Edgar Hoover, who was then a young Justice Department lawyer. Hoover meticulously compiled lists of suspected radicals and orchestrated the raids, which later contributed to his rise as the first director of the FBI. Additionally, the raids were marked by significant legal abuses, including the detention of suspects on Ellis Island, where some were held incommunicado for weeks, and the use of third-degree interrogation methods. The Palmer Raids are a stark reminder of how fear and political opportunism can lead to the erosion of civil liberties. Thank you for joining us on Resistance in Focus. To learn more about the Palmer Raids and other sites of resistance, visit A Radical Guide at radicalguide.com. If you appreciate our work and want to support our projects, consider making a tax-deductible donation. Your support helps us continue highlighting and preserving the stories of resistance that shape our world. And remember, follow ideas, not people.